Let's talk about Bitcoin miner Digital files to raise up to 500 million in equity. So more miners, very bullish, boys. The proceeds will be used for capital expenditures, buying new mining equipment and other potential acquisitions. What we're seeing, obviously, the last article is more focused on the flare gas mining, but it did talk about a lot of basically fundraising and basically more investment that's going to go into Bitcoin mining. That's why I say it's definitely looking bullish for miners right now. Bitcoin miner Digital filed a prospectus with the U.S. Securities Exchange Commission for the sale of up to 500 million in equity from time to time, also known as at-the-market offering. We did briefly talk about this in the previous one. But the equity offerings may include ordinary shares, preferred shares, warrants, and units comprised of any combination thereof, according to the filing. The company said the proceeds would be used for general corporate purposes, including capital expenditures, buying new mining equipment, and other potential acquisitions and general working capital. H.C. Wainwright will act as the underwriter if Digital sells ordinary shares and will offer to sell about 181.8 million shares, implying a roughly 241% increase in outstanding shares if all of the 500 million worth of shares are sold. That being said, the prospectus is a shelf registration, meaning there is no present intention to immediately sell all the securities being registered. Digital migrated all of its Bitcoin mining rigs in North America from China last year amid China's sweeping ban of the industry. Almost 40% of its machines have come online in North America as of March 16th. The rest of the miners are awaiting installation in the U.S., are expected to be installed at sites operated by Compute North and or at new facilities to be operated by DigitHost and Block Fusion in upstate New York this year, the company said in a filing. Digital's offering comes short after one of the largest Bitcoin miners, Riot Blockchain, filed a similar prospectus to sell up to $500 million of shares in an ATM offering, and another miner, Mawson Infrastructure, MIGI, also announced this month it was looking to raise up to $500 million in equity offerings. Digital shares were unchanged after hours, but have fallen about 58% this year compared with Bitcoin's decline of 13%. Now, I also wanted to point something else out here. We basically know that only 40% of their machines from China have come back online, and they are looking at bringing them back online. We see a continued increase in Bitcoin difficulty. And as smaller miners and so on, it's very important to pay attention to this, because I had been talking about hedging into Bitcoin, Bitcoin miners specifically. But from what I can tell, what we are looking at is there's still going to be easily within the next couple of years is a huge increase, right? Probably double the hash rate on Bitcoin, maybe even more. It's going to be very hard as smaller miners, home miners, etc., to compete with these large companies that are able to get this type of funding through public offerings. And it's a little disappointing, especially I think from a Bitcoin maximalist standpoint, a fundamental standpoint, to see that it is basically being overrun by corporate interests. And that is, to me, just kind of a red flag in general. But on the good side of things, what we can see is because of the institutional investment, because of the corporate influence and so on, you will probably see, of course, cryptocurrency continue to be successful to a certain extent, and definitely looking like we are not going to hit the traditional super cycle lows, meaning we aren't going to go down another 50% if I had to take a guess, just because of the amount of investment that's going on. I hope you enjoyed this clip from the Crypto Mining Morning Show every Monday through Friday, 7:45 a.m. Pacific and 10:45 a.m. Eastern Time. You can check out more clips here, or if you're interested in checking out the entire live show, you can check that out down here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next Tuesday.